1976 Harman Kardon 330C. I love it. Just been fiddling around doing a little listening here on a rainy day. And I tell you, yesterday, guys, I had a hangout, and wouldn't you know it, I got nailed on the music, and the song that nailed me, well, it's blocked in a Cyndi Lauper tune, and it's blocked here in the U.S., so nobody got to see the finish, if you lived here, of fixing up this unit and restoring it. So it's kind of a shame, you know, to have gone through all that work. So I thought I'd come back today and just do a wrap-up vid for that. Beautiful, clean sound. Nice balance. Nice and clean. Real signature Marantz. Dead silence between vocals. Beautiful. Let's come on down and I'll show you what we did here. Pop that off before the Beatles sue me here, huh? Anyway, guys, let's take a look in here. The whole crux of the whole situation, I'm looking at the top. I've taken the top off so I can show you guys. The whole crux of the situation was a really rare thing happened. A tuner board had a bad capacitor in it, electrolytic, and I went out and changed quite a few other ones too that were inconvenient positions. I don't just change out things willy-nilly, but it's such a rarity to have electrolytics go bad on a tuner board because they're not used. There's not much power throughput through there. This is really more for signal acquisition and differentiation here. Big double gang tuning capacitor here, beautiful, typical high quality stuff that HK uses, and determined that once we changed out that cap down there, the unit came to life beautifully, and did some more testing of some other caps and things, and then had to address the lighting issues here, and that was a real bear. Luckily, I was able to, well, I replaced the LEDs for the front here, no big deal. I mean, they look a lot, I'd say a lot more bluish green on video than they are in actual real life. They're a much more of a green than a greenish blue you see here. So it's very easy to pop in the new lights, the new LED style, bayonet style lights. The real problem was getting the stereo indicator to work, and that was much more demanding. Reason being, it uses an incandescent bulb behind here, and they're impossible to source in the US. I ended up getting these. I've had these for quite a while. Thank goodness I'm still able to source out of Russia for these things. And these are really tiny little incandescent lights. I'll hold one up here and you can see the tiny size of it, and thank goodness. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. Maybe you can. I mean, it's really tiny. And I was able to get that hooked up behind there without shorting anything out. It's very difficult to solder these tiny little leads, but it worked out. So thank you to my Russian. I have great contacts in Russia and in China, and it's very helpful because they still remanufacture and still have a lot of stock of these old parts that you need for restoration projects. So thank you, Russian friends, for that. And how is your Russian, guys? Anyway, replace that, clean the unit up some. You want to be very careful. You don't want to start attacking little paint things like that with solvents because you'll melt the plastic. You'll just screw it up. And the trick is you need to know when to say when. when you're doing the restorations. Okay, now you also need to know when to say 1. This is a signal strength meter that you're supposed to dial into 5. You know, you're supposed to dial in, it's supposed to move to the right towards 10 when you've acquired your strongest signal. Well, this particular, I've tested, this little unit's gone bad, the little needle part of it, but you know, it's not that critical of a component. If I was doing what I call a Class A restoration, I would spend more time on the unit, doing some tuning, doing some calibrating. As it is now, I just had time to adjust what they call the DC offset, so we have balance in our outputs here. Otherwise, you know, these are not super expensive units. They're more than your average units because of being Harman Kardon. But this certainly can't hold a candle to my Twin Power 430, I think, unit, which is absolutely beautiful. My biggest beef with this from a aesthetics point of view is the channel indicator, the station tuner indicator pointer there doesn't light up. Now the one on the HK Twin Power lights up beautifully, and it really adds to the whole beauty of the unit. Remember, vintage audio gear has beauty as well as functionality. So I'm going to close this up and do a listen all in. I think we were about 4 hours of shop time on the restoration for a fun little unit. I'm going to put the cover on and we'll wrap it up.
Lamentó que el secuestro se ha convertido en un problema sustancial al pasar de 10 entidades a 28.
Listen to how clean. Nothing like classical music for checking audio. Beautiful.
Police, a British film.
Lost as I could be when you found me.
Like a little John Prine. The Righteous Brothers. Getting in Cornea Station. Really nice tuner.
Mamá está viva y ahorita anda muy estresada mi mamá.
Toyota, let's go places.
Some evidence of obstruction of justice.
Okay, some evidence.
I've been watching my way. I've been trying to
Nice and clean. Beautiful unit.
been trying.
I want to thank you guys for being along on another restoration project. I'm sorry you missed the shop time yesterday, but well, we'll talk about that on tomorrow morning's chooch. But anyway, guys, I do appreciate you being along. Harman Kardon is one of the great names in vintage audio, and I am very pleased to have rescued another piece of great vintage gear from the junk pile. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. And watching too, and your thumbs up are most appreciated. And year after year, Nothing gives me greater joy than to be with you and working on vintage audio equipment. Thanks, everybody.
Mixed in my coat. I don't wanna hold this on. And I don't